Hello everyone, today I'm here to do my first video review of the year, and I'm super excited because it is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, probably not. But yeah, this is an adult book and I will tell you guys all about it. I will keep it non-spoiler and then I will talk about spoilers, so I will warn you when they happen. So let's talk about this amazing, heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, tear-sobbing book. I decided to read Me Before You this year because I wanted to branch out for more adult fiction, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about this author. Like, I haven't heard a bad thing about it. And I decided to pick up Me Before You because I think it's her most talked about novel. And I went into it not knowing too much, but it blew my mind away. I loved it. I actually went into it thinking it'd be a chick lit novel, and it is not that. So just be wary about that. If you're thinking that this is going to be a light, fluffy read, it's not. It's a very serious, thought-provoking, very sad book, which surprises me because I'm not a big fan of sad books, but I guess I'm reading more of them now, but I don't know. Got a girl named Louisa, who often known as Lou, I think. She's just an ordinary girl that lives in London. She works in a cafe that's right by the castle of her neighborhood, and she loves her ordinary humdrum life, and she just has to bring coffee every day and talking to people, and then said the cafe is going to be shut down and she needs to find a new job because her family's kind of struggling because it's kind of a recession right now, and she has to help make ends meet for her family. So she takes on this job as like kind of a caretaker for this guy named Will Trainer. Now Will Trainer he's wheelchair bound after an accident. I want to say he's quadriplegic, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, I'm sorry. Which means that he has he can't use his legs, like everything from down here he can't really use. He can barely even use his hands, like not even, like I'd say not even 10% function. And she just is hired to, you know, not be his caretaker, but just kind of, you know, cheer him up and all that kind of stuff. And she didn't really want this job, but she took it because she needed to help her family. That's the basic set of it. It says in the back, when she learns that Will has shocking plans of his own, Lou sets out to show him that life is still worth living. I don't think it's spoiling anything to tell you that Will is set out to end his own life. He does not like the way he is lived now, because before he got in this accident, before he was wheelchair bound, he was a man of adventure. He went skiing, he did marathons, he climbed Mount Everest, he did all this adventurous stuff, and I think that's hard for people like that get wheelchair bound after that because they lose their sense of life almost. So he is set out to go to Switzerland, this place that helps kind of commit suicide because he doesn't really want his life anymore, and he told his parents he'll give them 6 months, and yeah. So Louisa learns about this, and she sets out to show him within these 6 months that his life is worth living, to show him that there is more than life, that he doesn't have to end it and stuff like that. And I don't think it's spoiling anything for you to tell you that. I'm sorry if I did, but I think that's pretty obvious. But yeah, overall, I love this book. I thought it was very, very, very good. Now, I'll get into more of like the suicide kind of assisted death type of thing later. I love Jojo Moyes' style of writing. It's very, very easy to get drawn into the character. She wrote Louisa with such effort that made me like her. Like, I love Louisa. She's a very bright and bubbly in character, and I loved her so much. I loved her family, and I even liked Will. Will was a very, very hard person to crack because he's had a lot of stuff happen to him, and when that stuff happens to you, you can grow bitter and you can grow resilient and just not want anything. And I really liked, I loved the characters in this book. I love the way it was written. I love that it was London. Something with any books with London in them, I'm like, give them to me. I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with them. But this book was so, so good. If I can give a rating, I would give it a 4.5 out of 5, and I'll go into that more in detail, but this will definitely stay one of my favorites of this new year, even though it's the very beginning. I know it will, because this book will just stay with me. Like, this was the first book I've read in a while that I was thinking about it when I wasn't reading it, which is a lot for me to do because I have a lot going on in my personal life. So that, I mean, that's a mighty feat to accomplish, I guess. Anyway, if you don't want to know any more about this book, like if you don't want to be spoiled, I suggest you stop watching and go read this book because it's a very, very good book. But be prepared for tears if you cry with books. I don't cry with books a lot, but it did make me sad. And you'll fall in love with it, honestly. And I loved it so much, and I can't wait to read more by her. Like, I want to buy all of her books now. So spoilers now. They're not going to be too much of spoilers. I'm going to try to keep this video kind of short. The whole assisted death suicide thing, I still don't know what to think about it. I'm not going to talk about it too much because this is a very topic. Like, a lot of people have strong feelings for, a lot of people have strong feelings against it. I'm not going to say what I really think because I'm not a person of debate, honestly. Like, I like talking in discussions, but I'm not a fan of getting into debates and of who's right or who's wrong. I believe everyone has an opinion, and that's okay because you are your own person. You are entitled to an opinion. I will say I'm not a huge fan of it, but that's all I'm going to say about it. The way it was written, it was very well written, and I love the fact that Louisa really tried to do outings for Will, and she cracked at his hard exterior, and there was such little romance in it, but I still wanted, bless you. I still wanted, there's such little romance in it, but I wanted to read more. Like, I didn't care. And I usually love romance books, but like I said, this one wasn't really romance. It had a little bit of aspects, but I love the relationship between Louisa and Will and how she was very fragile on her feet around him at first, and then she finally got fed up with it, and she's like, look, you need to stop being such a jerk. And then he takes a liking to her, and you can see him just start to be the man that he used to be before this huge accident happened. Very unfortunate that things happen like this, and it happens to people that don't deserve it. It happens to a lot of people, and you don't know what to say in situations like this, and it's just a tough thing. And I can imagine it was very tough for Will, for being such an adventure guy as he was. He was used to being on his feet. He was used to going out to do things, to living life to the extreme and to the fullest, and now he's wheelchair bound and he can't do anything on his own, like literally anything. And it must be very, very hard. I like the way it was written. Like, it was so well written. I just can't get over how well written it was. But yeah, I didn't talk about too much about spoilers, whatever. But the ending, it was very, very sad, but fulfilling ending, I think. I did like the ending, and I just want to read all of Jojo Moyes' books, like all of them. If you have read any more of her books, what are your favorite books? Like, I really want to read 1+1. That sounds really intriguing to me. And I also want to read The Last Letter from Your Lover. That also looks very intriguing to me. But yeah, if you have read this book, what do you think about it? Without going into too much debate over the whole assisted death, suicide thing. I don't want to, like, have this comment field be like a whole he said, she said, right, wrong kind of thing. I'm not into that, so be nice. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Before you leave, please check out the links over here, because I have tons of links, book blog, Twitter, Instagram, other channel that you should definitely check out before you go, because links are awesome. Am I right? Yes, I think so.